In Europe alone, we are talking about more than 1,400 truckloads of fresh food which go to waste every single day. We calculated with one customer, we were able to save roughly 400 tons of CO2 equivalents due to better planning. The carbon footprint or the CO2 emissions for bakery goods are pretty high, and every pretzel or bread roll you're wasting at the end of the day or putting in the trash is completely lost resources. This is one of the best parts of our solution. If we do a good job in forecasting, they just produce what they are actually selling, and we can save these resources in the first place.
We are super excited to be shifting our focus a little bit. So we spoke about AI in finance, of course, AI in chemicals and other, let's say, heavy industries. Now we want to discuss the role that AI can play in the food and retail industry. And for that, we invited Franz, who's the co-founder of IPERIA, based in Würzburg. And yeah, we're super excited to have you here. Everyone who knows me knows that I'm a big fan of Simon Sinek. Start with a why. So my first question today would be, what is your why? What is your vision? Let's start there today.
Yeah, first of all, thank you for having me today. My vision is to cut food waste by half within the next 5 years with the help of better AI-based planning.
Okay, that's short and snappy. And how do you do it then?
Well, making the perfect order or basically the perfect order decision doesn't exist. So if you're making your groceries, like usually you buy too much, maybe too much sushi, you have some leftovers there, and then you throw it away. And imagine this, the amount you throw away at home, like times 100, times 1,000, or even more, is the food waste which is produced by the retail industry and by the production. So in Europe alone, we are talking about more than 1,400 truckloads of fresh food which go to waste every single day.
That's a lot. And then is your platform more on the production side of things when you're saying you're optimizing really the production of food, or more on the selling side of things? Is it also about optimizing purchasing, for example, or both?
Yeah, well, we can help both sides with our solution. Like, we can plan from the production to the supermarket shelf to the end consumer. So from cooking the rice till you buy your sushi in the supermarket, for example. And therefore, we can help them to reduce the food waste by up to 30%, and due to a better product availability, also increase their sales up to 20%.
So in general, it's about basically a supermarket that is planning the order of fresh food, right? Like sushi, what you said. And what would be interesting for me is, in the end, where does AI come in here? And how is this established, let's say, at the supermarket, right? So I guess they also had IT systems already in the past based on, the big software providers. Also would be interesting to understand where you as a specialist, then how do you log into this? Yeah, but perhaps at first just the AI. Where does AI come in here?
The core of our product is the AI or the forecasting engine. So what we are doing, we are taking roughly 150 different features into account, like from the historical sales data, the weather data, school holidays, normal holidays, promotions, what is in the assortment, and so much more. And then based on all these features, we are calculating the perfect order quantity. The special about our solution, and this is also where like 25 years of research from my co-founders go into it. It's not only the prediction, it's not only the forecast, it's the prediction. Like, it doesn't help you if you have like the forecast. So with a probability of 48%, you will sell 60 pretzels in your shop at a main station. Like, you have order quantities, you have profit margins. So you as a shop owner want to know, like, how many pretzels should I send to the shop to make the maximum profit? So and there we can help you. And this is where AI come into place in our solution. And I guess the second question was like how to deal with these bigger companies.
And how to, I guess also the API, how to plug into their existing systems.
We started with bakeries, like small, medium-sized companies, especially in Germany. We consciously started with these kind of customers. Why? Because the planning problem is super hard there. So if you're talking about fresh bakery products, you're talking about products which have a shelf life of a day or even less. So, and the second part is like the structure of the company. So usually they are family-owned, medium-sized or small companies. And what we did in the beginning was just going around the bakeries in Würzburg, telling them, hey, we have a super nice idea. We just need some data for you. Can we try something? Yeah, this was when we found our first customers and really could show we can make a positive impact and really bring value to them. So, and then started from these small bakeries to bigger and bigger bakeries. And today we have cooperation, or we are a technology partner of Aldi, so one of the biggest retailers in Germany, also helping them planning their fresh bakery products there. And also even bigger bakery customers with like 300-400 and more outlets they are delivering. Connection kind of simple. So usually we have we using the standard APIs from the system. So we have connectors to SAP and the 10-15 different bakery ERP systems. The technical part usually is the easy part.
That's good news, I guess. You know.
Yeah, depending. Like the complex part is like the people business there. Like to convincing. The bigger the customer, the longer your sales cycle, the more complex, the more stakeholders you have into the process. And this is where things get really complicated and also some kind of slow. I guess you also work with like some DAX companies too. I think you can tell how it is to have an IT security assessment before you get the first batch of data.
Yes, of course. Yeah, we also have it. It's also a highly regulated industry, right, that we are working in, chemical and pharmaceutical industry, but the food industry as well, right? And from that perspective, of course, you have really established processes. Typically, also, what I experience is that they are perhaps not always up to date. When you think about new technologies and IT architecture and stuff like this. So you also need to adapt to this. And that, of course, is, I think, in general, a challenge. But I think if you're used to it, and I think you are also used to it, then it's also something where you can say, okay, it just takes time, but we will get there and manage this, right?
Were there any special tricks that worked particularly well? Maybe also for you, when you say there was really that convincing factor that maybe in the first place you didn't even think would be, but then it was. What is the ease of implementation? Was it really the USPs and the efficiency gains? Was it more the pricing side that everyone's like, oh my God, we can, of course, our economies of scale are going to be better.
I would say it's somehow the track record. Like there are 100 new startups every day who promising with AI, we will do something special and make the world a better place. So the more track record you have, so the more success stories or case studies you can show you have actually an impact, the easier is it to get on the next level or the next bigger customer. I would say this is the first step. And the second is like try to implement a super lightweight and fast prototype or MVP project. Maybe this is faster than, in the first batch, you just get the emails, you just get the data via mail and not via API. But via mail, it's done in 2 days. Via API, it will take 2 months till they implemented the API. So really focus on your core value proposition. For us, it's like we can do better planning, better forecasting, and then set up a test project for 4 or 6 weeks, show the impact. And then if you can prove what you told them before, then it's much easier to sell. Then you can make it up at the business case. And so you have a 5-8 time ROI. So sign here. It's much easier than if it's about believing in efficiency gains or believing in the value add of your software.
Very interesting. Is there some sort of, what are the biggest challenges when it comes to product? How do you go about really continuously developing your product together with the client versus saying, no, this is what we have, this is what we're going to work with. So that kind of balancing act. Because I guess new customers come with new requests. This is also something for Martin, I reckon. So how do you go about this?
I think every customer thinks he is the most important customer and the special customer. So I think it's essential to make product development together with your customers. So not just building a cool dashboard because you like cool dashboards. Usually this kind of 5 times ask why. So why do you need this number? And like a small child, like why do we need this? And to really understand what their basic needs are. And then also think about, okay, is this something special for that customer? Or could it help all my other customers? And then maybe it's kind of 80-20 rule. So like if it helps 80% of my customers, so we can implement it. And if not, we are doing it not, or maybe we will charge extra for this specific function for that customer. You told me before, like the Bezos quote, like always start with your customer and then thinking back to the technology. And I think there is some truth in this quote.
Yeah, I think at Quark, we have a mixture, so we also definitely work a lot with our customers and then have also our consultancy part, right, where we build something for the customer specifically. But we also have really our work streams where we build stuff that we basically generated from our organization, I would say, as new features that then complement, let's say, these topics, or where we rethink it and then offer it to our customers. And that works also pretty good because then you have this mixture and you can really make huge steps forward. I think that's also what we observe currently, that we are very fast in adapting technologies and offering that to our customers. And currently we have a situation where we are basically 2.5 years ahead, where we also need to learn how to handle that, and how to work with that in the area where it's also about new regulations coming up. So basically we can fulfill these regulations already, although they need to be implemented in 2 years now. But definitely it's all about the customer needs, right? You want to, in the end, solve customer needs or offer some benefit.
Definitely.
What I will have is also one question, right? I mean, you said you want to fight against food waste, what itself is already amazing. In the end, it's also then your business about optimizing profits, basically, for the business. And the great thing here is that it really goes hand in hand, right? Sustainability and business model. And that is what everyone is really looking for, and where everyone agrees that this is the huge challenge. So it's also for the industries we are working in, to not only think about, hey, how can we solve regulation, or how can we be compliant, aligned to regulation all over the world, but also then rethink our business models, create more profit in the end from it. So it's awesome that you're doing this in the food industry. And I think that's definitely something a lot of also, of course, enterprise businesses can learn from. Just from curiosity, if you think about the shops, right, that buy in the end less product that can be sold, does it also have an impact on the CO2 footprint, for example, because the food has not been produced? Is it really something they can use for sustainability purposes and regulation? Is that already a topic for your business? Because for me, coming a lot from that regulation, it's directly that came to my mind. Hey, wow, when you have to buy less in the end resources, then you can massively reduce your not only the CO2 footprint, a lot of footprints.
Yeah, definitely. I mean, some of our really big bakery customers, like these are really medium or big sized companies, they have to do also these regulation stuff. And we calculated with one customer, we were able to save roughly a little bit more than 400 tons of CO2 equivalents due to better planning. So especially in the bakery industry, like you have your ingredients, but you also need a lot of gas or electricity to produce, to bake the products themselves. So the carbon footprint or the CO2 emissions for bakery goods are pretty high. And every pretzel or bread roll you're wasting at the end of the day or putting in the trash is completely lost resources. And I would say like this is one of the best parts of our solution. The worst thing would be like putting good food in the trash. I mean, too good to go and all these kind of second use is super. It's better than to put it in the trash. But the best resources are the resources we do not use in the first place. If we do a good job in forecasting, they just produce what they are actually selling. And we can save these resources in the first place.
Perhaps also quite interesting is we did some research for the chemical industry on the supply chain topics around 5 years ago, I would say. And also had these warehouse strategies basically for chemicals in place. Yeah, I mean, then it's about a global market and how to work on this. But I think the chemical industry has not yet adopted to it. Yeah, so we forecasted of course the supply chain also got very relevant for chemical industry. I think for industry in general, the supply chains. But that was something in our study where we said that's a major topic to have this delivery strategies in place also for the customers. But it was not a topic that was catch up so much. I mean, of course, there's AI also in this supply chain area. It's a topic, but I think overall they are quite at the beginning still. Yeah?
Interesting.
So interesting to see that here. But great business model. I mean, solving so many problems in the same time and generating better margins, right? That's awesome.
What's next? What's on the roadmap? I heard that you guys did quite a good funding round recently, and then is that more on the product side, international expansion? Where are you going?
I would say like both. Like we started in the bakery industry. This is still our biggest market. There we have a ready-to-use product. We have multiple pilots right now in other categories. It's always about fresh and ultra-fresh products. Yeah, and we are not limited to the German-speaking or the Germany, Switzerland, Austria area, but we are also about to entering the UK market because there, for example, the convenience food, the daily, like the sushi wraps, ready to eat, ready to cook food is almost twice as big as in Germany, and the food waste basically is also twice as big as in Germany. So there we see our first foreign market, and really looking forward to be in London multiple times this year.
Amazing. Well, good luck for your next milestones. And then we'll really hope that you are, turning this food industry upside down in the best sense of the word by implementing your solution.
Thank you so much.